Hey everyone, I'm going to upload another audio today. This one is Who am I being that no longer works? Is there a mask you hide behind? Maybe you're a people pleaser. There comes a time in our life where certain aspects just don't work for us anymore, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. But there may be areas that you're aware of where you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe you want to be a better listener. Maybe you want other people to listen to you better. So go ahead and take a moment to get comfortable. I'll go ahead and post my disclaimer. And selecting a topic, an aspect of yourself that maybe you've become aware of that you realize you don't want to be like that anymore. You don't want to do that anymore, whatever that is. Find a place where you can sit down and be comfortable. And I will cue up the audio for you. And I'm going to turn off the camera so that I'm not distracting. And we'll move right into today's audio. Welcome to today's audio. My disclaimer: I am not a lawyer, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a therapist or a counselor, and I offer no advice. Any resources provided on my website, my audios, or free calls are for educational purposes only. Unlocking Resilience takes no responsibility to the use or misuse of any of the resources that are provided. You as the listener and the consumer of these resources take full responsibility for your mental health choices and behaviors. Being on this call or listening to the audio gives me permission to work with your superconscious. So go ahead while you're laying down or sitting up, whichever is comfortable, closing your eyes after a few slow, deep breaths. Gently rolling your eyes up as if you're looking at your own eyebrows. Your eyes may flutter, and that's fine. And after a few breaths, while you're still looking up, go ahead and close your lids down, allowing the alpha state to come over you. And after a few breaths, with your eyes closed, you can relax and don't worry about what your eyes are doing. Bringing your attention to how are you feeling in this moment. Bringing your attention inward. You may even bring a hand to your heart if that feels good. And during this session, I'm going to answer some questions. I had someone request a specific audio, so we're going to do that today, but I'm also going to add in a few answers to questions that I've got. So as you're focusing on the body, get a sense of clarity of what you desire from today's session. The topic of who am I being that doesn't work any longer? Ask yourself, if I had it all my way, what do I want? Can you trust it will come into your life? You can't change everyone else, yet you can prepave your energies and the experiences you would like to have in life. Because your energy can be a wave of positivity, of trusting, of loving the process, of becoming who you want to be. And superconscious, please treat this experience and the act of experience. Please open and balance the sea of yang, treating all elements of loss of innocence, apathy, dysregulated anger, and the withdrawal from engaging in life. Once treating all disempowering elements and complex structures in relation to the sea of yang, Then replace these treated elements with self-empowering elements of courage, the ability to face our fears, to individuate with a clear sense of me and not me, and add in a self-empowering ability to re-engage with life and standing tall in my efforts, grounding in a strong feeling of dignity, no matter what others are doing or saying in my life, breathing and noticing. Your energies can influence the space around you and the people around you without you even trying. You are the captain of your ship. And as you float your own boat on the waves of gratitude and positive action steps, you influence others, consciously or unconsciously, to do the same. You have a huge impact in the sense of developing the coherence between your heart and your brain. Your coherence is your most powerful state, and vibrationally everything that is incoherent tends to find coherence when you are holding your own coherence. If others can't resonate at that level, any incoherent energy just has to go elsewhere. You are the center of your universe. As you continue these magnetic mind sessions, you will over time find your coherent state more and more. It could be love, it could be peace, and you will start to find more synchronicity in life and more harmony. Ask yourself, what would my life feel like if I was in my heart's desires and taking steps to bring them to life? Notice if you have any fear or resistance to this question. This vision of a coherent life. Superconscious, treat this experience, the experience active and the active experience. Please treat the belt vessel to connect and to be more joyful. Whatever is popping up for you, just let it be there. Everything is welcome. As you notice how you feel about this new way of being in the world and in your life, being in coherence with your heart's desires, I'm going to speak to your superconsciousness. Superconscious, please treat this experience treat all disempowering associations to any low emotions that we might have about embracing our true self. Superconscious, please do a structure of association on all parts, predispositions, and complex structures that led to any negative associations and treat them fully. Superconscious, please treat the circumstances, situations, people, events, memories associated to and with stuffing emotions to survive. Any stored negative beliefs, any flashbacks, nightmares, or any other suppressed emotions, memories, events, beliefs. Treat them slowly and consistently until there is a felt sense of relief in the active experience and body. When appropriate, please gently replace each treated element with an uplifting, self-empowering element aligned with the true self and the heart's desires, and assist in releasing old hurts, violation of boundaries, increasing and magnifying the ability to integrate life and not stuff it anymore. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. Continue to assist with reestablishing connection to self, self-care, and self-respect. treating all of this in the most gentle and kind way. And when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. Breathing and noticing. When you have done the work, for some that means forgiveness. For others, it's clearing old hurts. If there's anyone you can't stand, you just want to clear the energy you have towards them, continuing to clear your path to your authentic self. For others, it could be going deeper and to work with identity patterns. We all have them. The question is, who do you become when blank happens? Who do you become when that happens? Who am I? Who am I to be frustrated by that person? Am I the sad daughter, the frustrated teenager, the unhappy employee? Do I become the resentful partner? Different situations will trigger different identities to deal with these situations. Eventually, over time, you can release identity patterns. And then you purely respond to life, no longer reacting. Then you realize this is reality, not who you are. You are source, undefined and unlimited. And when you can let go of these old limiting roles, a tremendous amount of relief can happen. It's your journey. And when you are no longer triggered by people triggering your identities, you can be in unconditional love. Or for some, it's just a place of neutrality. And then you're not triggered if others are fighting between each other. You can just observe. Because you don't have a relation with your old limiting roles anymore. You no longer have the role or the identity of the rescuer, the healer. You no longer have the role of the peacemaker or maybe the victim. All of the roles you think you need to have to survive or to be accepted. When you release these identities and roles, you will just simply be present. And your present can move mountains in your favor. This is when synchronicity comes in and your gifts begin to blossom easily. Breathing and noticing. Ask yourself, what would life be like if you let go of being triggered? And in its place was your inner self's guidance. The guidance you could hear, you could feel it, and you could act on your intuitions and embrace the synchronicity of life. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to flirt with life and have it flirt back with you? Notice if you have any judgments or fear around letting the old self go and trusting the process of life. Just notice what's coming up for you. Super conscious, please treat this experience in the active experience. Please open and treat the yin motility vessel fully. Whatever's coming up, just let it be there. Everything is welcome as you notice how you feel about this new way of being in the world and in your life. Flirting with life and having life flirt back. I'm going to speak to your superconscious. Continue focusing on that. Superconscious, please treat this experience fully. Please do a structure of association on all parts, predispositions, and complex structures that led to any negative related associations, and then treat them fully. Superconscious, treat the circumstances, situations, events, memories associated to or with all disempowering associations. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. And please replace all treated negative elements with positive self-empowering elements. And you know who and what triggers you. And you can ask yourself, what part of me is being triggered? And you're going to discover an identity when you ask yourself, what part of me is being triggered? Is it the stressed out mom, the hurt child, the frustrated teenager, the one who was bullied? These are all identities, and they hold energy within your energy field, and we can release that. You see, you're going to recognize the pattern, and using a point of view of a certain identity. And when you release that point of view, poof, the next time around you can't be triggered from the same old behavior on a different day. You are free then, free to create a life without distractions and hesitations. You can do a little bit every day. I'm providing you with the tools and processes so you can get there as easily as possible. Because the majority of people do not have any tools to use to integrate all of these topics and emotions to be able to live an identity-free life of more satisfaction and happiness. Most people are unaware of their patterns and behaviors, and that's what leaves them stuck, running on autopilot in a life they don't enjoy. As you come into more and more of your head and heart coherence, it helps others around you to align more easily and come into their coherence. So then it affects the whole planet, joining in a wave of clarity and action. This eliminates the disturbance in the field, the entire field. And those waves of coherence and love and forgiveness, and all that boosts the entire field in a positive way. So many people are out of their own head-heart coherence. So many people are out of their own coherence, and it's causing so many of us to suffer. My goal is to get as many of you that want this type of coherence in their life, the skills and the processes to find your head and heart coherence, to find, feel, and act on your heart's desires, and to use your head and your mind to make it happen. Then we will all benefit. The more we do our work, the more we raise up. And in a clear state, we are all connected. We are all tapped into the same juice that animates the body. This isn't a spiritual thing, it just is. Something animates us, and we can clear away the conditioning of all that no longer serves us and live in flow, the juice of life. Take a moment to be grateful. Grateful that you have the skills to help yourself, and helping yourself helps others. Continue to journal what you have gratitude for. Ask yourself, what are you grateful for? Keep doing it every day. And at the same time, you can keep a journal full of all the things you love, the things you adore. This will raise your vibration also. Even just spending 10 or 20 minutes in appreciation and gratitude, a journal of, I love this, I love that. And focus on the things you love, and you'll begin to see them more around you. And as we come into our final round, ask yourself, what are the things I love? How does this make you feel? How does your body respond to the feeling and the thinking of the things you love? Superconscious, please magnify the positive sensations and the positive feelings, the positive memories, and this positive creation of all the things you love in the active experience. In superconsciousness, I ask you to open and treat the penetrating vessel, treating all unresolved trauma that has passed through any generation, treating any legacy of fear, guilt, and treat shame. Also treat all parts of the body. And once this has been treated, along with any associated structures or feelings to or with this, replace all treated elements with your pure potential, the ability to feel whole, remembering who we truly are, replacing it with resilience, strength, and for us to have the ability to feel our own perfection. Treating all parts, predispositions, and complex structures that interfere with this becoming our true self. Please treat anything that interferes with our head and heart coherence. And when this is complete, do a full and complete massive history change and everything after that. Treating all body parts and energies, treating all physiologies, all DNA, treat all levels of consciousness and memories, especially memories 1, 2, and 3. Treat all tandem memories, shadow memories, ego states, and ground everything we have touched today into the matrix of the universe. And between now and the next session, please treat all disempowering parts, emotions, and memories and replace them with self-empowering memories and behaviors. And taking a deep breath, have a little wiggle around, bringing yourself back to the room that you are in. And with your permission, I will close the session. Welcome. And just take a moment to focus on how are you feeling now? How is your body feeling? How are your thoughts? And the way that you would use this audio is anytime you become aware of a pattern or a habit or a way of being that you don't want to be anymore, or you realize is not helpful for you anymore, then you would select that topic and then listen to this audio again. And I look forward to seeing you in the next audio or live stream.